Hello and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be reviewing Infinite Crisis. Real quick, if you haven't seen my previous video covering Identity Crisis, I do recommend you watch that, as some things in Infinite Crisis reference Identity Crisis. Other than that, I think you're pretty good. I'm going to be discussing some required reading that I would recommend, that I wish I read, and also just the story, general plot, art style, all the fun stuff. Yeah, let's get to it. So this is Infinite Crisis. It's a big crossover event featuring Jeff Johns and Phil Jimenez. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry, but this is the front cover here. This is one of the older paperbacks, or it's not too old, not quite yet. It came out in 2008. It's about to be reprinted in a new DC Essential format, I believe, or something similar to that. So, Infinite Crisis, right off the bat. Let's just discuss the simple stuff. So the art style. I mean, the art style is phenomenal. There's no doubt about that. It keeps you reading. Even if you don't understand what you're reading, you love looking at it. All right, there's just so much. Like you also got some Jim Lee variant covers in here. Really interesting stuff. In terms of gutter loss, there's none because it's a paperback format, which is nice. But I will say this: the format. Another thing, format. I got it in paperback. I kind of regret it. I was originally gonna get the omnibus, but the omnibus is hard to find. I believe possibly out of print. It's expensive, and I've been told by people like maybe in their opinion that the story doesn't hold up in current times in terms of quality or grandeur. I don't even know if that's a word. I regret not getting the Omni, or at least doing some pre-reading before reading this paperback, because truth be told, it was a little confusing. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not impossible to just read this paperback alone. It is not impossible, but I just hate reading things and not getting the full context. Now, I want to give a heads up right now. This is spoiler alert for this story and for stories that are linked to it. That includes OMAC Project and Wonder Woman. So, basically, pre-context that you need to understand is there was an issue in Wonder Woman where Maxwell Lord, a villain who has, I believe it's telepathic abilities of some kind of mind control abilities. I haven't read Wonder Woman myself. I might get into it after this, actually. Where Maxwell Lord took control of Superman. Wonder Woman put the lasso of truth around Maxwell Lord and basically said, "Tell me, how can I get you to release him?" He says, "Kill me." The woman literally snaps this guy's neck, which is kind of intense. But this is also touched. There were droids recording the sequence and broadcasting it worldwide. These are the OMACs, or the OMAC Project. I don't really know. See, the fact that I haven't read these makes it harder for me to explain it to you guys. But basically, the OMAC Project was a project by Batman to kind of like automate the overseeing of heroes, and in case heroes went rogue. That's kind of my understanding of it. But then someone, not going to say who, it's kind of a big spoiler, and I want to stick to minimal spoilers here, modified this OMAC Project so that when it saw Wonder Woman kill Maxwell Lord and also simultaneously broadcasted it worldwide, it went fucking crazy. It's like, yo, these heroes are actually dangerous. Like, according to my protocols, I need to stop this. So it starts taking over human bodies and turning them into these OMAC droids, and these droids are going all over the fucking place and taking over more people. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of references to Crisis on Infinite Earths. You need to read Crisis on Infinite Earths before reading this, because if you don't, this book will make zero sense. I'm happy I did, because if I didn't, I probably would have dropped this book halfway through. But there's the Wonder Woman issue, there's Crisis on Infinite Earths, and there's also the OMAC Project. I'm not sure if there's anything else that I'm forgetting, but there was also some other kind of references to some other heroes, and I wasn't really entirely sure what else was missing. So there's probably stuff I'm not mentioning here. But essentially, the main plot of Infinite Crisis is this is the aftermath, where the OMAC project is trying to basically get rid of these heroes. All the while, characters we've seen previously on Crisis on Infinite Earths have returned, and they're evil guys, and they want to replace the current Earth with older generations of Earths, or make a perfect Earth, basically. An Earth where there's less corruption, less hate. And so, basically, this book, like, one of the references they brought up was the fact that the Justice League, or the people in it, have corrupted this world. It started off great, you know. We helped forge a new era for heroes, and now we've got superheroes wiping other superheroes' minds. We've got superheroes murdering people on live television in front of thousands of people. There's so many things that they refer to that act as their reason for wanting to reset the world again and you know, make the perfect Earth. So this is like fallout basically from Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's like years down the line. And so that's the kind of main plot or story. And a lot of old characters come into play from Crisis on Infinite Earths. It kind of just jumps into the action straight out of OMAC Project and other pre-reading aspects. It does refer to Maxwell Lord's murder by Wonder Woman, but you're missing some context there unless like you've read it. All this stuff is included in the Omni. Not Identity Crisis, but like the OMAC Project and Wonder Woman murdering Maxwell Lord, I believe. All that stuff is included in the Omni, or at least parts and bits of it, not all of it. I should correct myself in saying that. And so I, in my personal opinion, believe that if I had the omnibus, I could have really understood and kind of gotten into the story further and given it the true appreciation it deserves. But when I'm reading a story and I don't really understand what's going on, partially, yes, due to my own lack of knowledge and understanding, it can be frustrating and it's hard to really get into a book. That being said, Infinite Crisis is not the most confusing book I've read. A recent read has confused me even more. I'll review that in the future. That'll be Final Crisis. But Infinite Crisis, ultimately, in the beginning, yes, it's hard to follow, and the pre-reading would have been really helpful. But once you get towards the end and you just accepted, okay, there was an OMAC project, okay, this happened, okay, that happened, and like you kind of fill in those gaps yourselves, this is an excellent read. It really does kind of put into the question, like, do the heroes that are currently in this universe deserve to live the way they do? Have they actually corrupted this grand world, or was it always set to be this way? Who's in the right here? There's kind of like ethics and like different perspectives thrown at you about who do you think is right in this situation. Now, most people would side with the heroes, but some people might be persuaded to side with the villains, you know? I mean, with so many excellent reasons brought up as to why these heroes are no longer fit for their roles, and how the Justice League has failed to answer the call of the people in need, it just further reflects really, ultimately, the kind of real dark and intense stuff that you want to see in a DC comic. And I must say, this was a great read, however a little confusing, but not so overtly confusing that you couldn't just read it in paperback. Personally, I would have preferred the omnibus format. This book retails normally at $23.99 Canadian or $17.99 US. However, you can get it on Amazon at discount, 20% off, for $19.21 Canadian plus tax. So that is an option. The Infinite Crisis is coming out in different formats, which is why this sudden 20% discounts come out. I'm not sure if this discount will still be going on when this video is released, but it's just something to keep in mind that at the time of this recording, there is currently a discount on this paperback, and you can get it delivered to you from Amazon. You could also get it in other formats, such as Absolute format if you love oversized art, or the Omnibus. I will be keeping links to all those different formats, all three of them, in my description below. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really do appreciate the sudden love and appreciation I'm getting from all you guys. I've got a few new subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much. You don't even understand. I'm going to be continuing to put out videos like this. My aim is to be uploading once a week every Saturday. Hopefully that keeps going through. Honestly, when it comes down to school and stuff like that, it might kind of dip every now and then, but I'm going to try my best to stay consistent because I'm seeing your guys' responses to my videos and I appreciate it, and I want to make sure that you guys are getting the content you deserve. So, all in all, Infinite Crisis, solid read, a little confusing at first, might be good to get some pre-information before reading, but yeah, like I said, links in the bio for all the formats. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you subscribe and like the video. Comment down below if there's any specific kind of reviews or maybe even statue unboxings you'd like me to do within a reasonable price range, because I'm more than willing to cater towards my subscriber fan base. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe and healthy amongst the COVID pandemic, and I will see you in the next video.